you or someone you know has been impacted by child sexual abuse, stay tuned. This is part 2. So at the end of part 1, I was talking about kind of how counseling, victims compensation can pay for counseling for the family, and you can ask for a specialist. And because counseling for the individual child and the family is necessary, absolutely necessary. The family needs to know how they can best support this child, and if the offender was somebody within the home or even another child, which is the case, or a sibling, the parents are going to really need to know how they can best help both children or their family as a whole and the child that this has happened to. Because as they told us constantly in training, and I'm sure that, you guys heard this term before, when you're going down on an airplane, you put that mask on yourself before you put it on your child. How are you supposed to help your child if you are unconscious? Same thing with counseling when it comes to child sexual abuse. The best way to help these children is by educating the families and providing support for the family in a whole, because it's these family members and these parents or these caregivers or guardians that are going to be the ones impacting this child and who's going to have the most time around this child the most. And so we want to make sure everybody is supported. Another thing I wanted to add was that in my experience working with these cases, it is exactly what happens after this information comes out is what impacts the most or the strongest. And I'll kind of elaborate on what I mean by that. So when I say that it impacts the most, what I'm trying to say, that I'm struggling to say, is that children who experience trauma, child sexual abuse, specifically, when that information is given out, when the family is aware that, hey, something's going on. If the family supports and believes that child and does everything they can to help that child overcome what happened to them, if that means going to law enforcement, that means going to law enforcement. If that means just, some families decide not to do that. That will greatly impact the child. Hey, my family is believing me. They know what's going on. It's for the children who do not have that support, where the families are like, you're lying, or no, why are you making that up, or whatnot. Those children end up having more difficult time, getting past this trauma, because nobody in their safe circle, their safe bubble, believed them. I'm going to make a part 3, so stay tuned.